You are in danger. We are only 10 days into the Trump administration, and we've already had the first fatal commercial plane crash in over 16 years with no survivors. While emergency crews are still pulling at least 65 innocent American bodies out of the Potomac River, our president is on TV blaming this deadly crash on minorities and women. So let's not mince words. The president's press conference was despicable, and everything he said was to avoid his own personal responsibility for this tragedy. And make no mistake, Donald Trump is personally responsible for this tragedy. One of the first things he did as president was to fire the head of the TSA, fire the entire Aviation Security Advisory Committee, who are the people responsible for examining safety issues at airlines and airports, to freeze the hiring of air traffic controllers, a group of essential workers already stretched to their limits, and to fire nearly 100 top FAA security officers. The head of the Federal Aviation Administration himself, a man who was unanimously confirmed by the Senate in 2023 for his skill and competence, was forced to retire 1 year into his 5-year term after facing relentless criticism from Elon Musk because he dared to fine SpaceX for failing to follow safety requirements. And Donald Trump took all of these steps to make us less safe while simultaneously hiring a completely inappropriate and unqualified Fox News host to lead the military and an MTV star to be Secretary of Transportation. And now we have had an unnecessary, tragic mid-air collision that includes the aviation industry and the military. So those deaths are on their hands. We should be having a thorough and transparent investigation on what happened and what went wrong, but we are never going to get that from this administration. What we are getting is press conferences blaming DEI. So let's be clear. From the moment Trump was sworn in, he has done nothing but demonize and undermine federal workers. These humble heroes who go to work every day and keep us safe. The dedicated experts who are trained to help Americans prevent and mitigate and respond to emergencies and tragedies. Lest we forget, Donald Trump deregulated the air safety industry during his last administration, putting oversight into the hands of the airlines so they could make more profit. Since then, doors have flown off, wheels have fallen off, engines have caught fire, and there have been mid-air near misses across the station, which is why for 4 years, Secretary Buttigieg fought to hire more air traffic controllers and improve working conditions. But under the Trump administration, all of that work is in hard reverse. There is a value to competent federal agencies and workers. They keep us safe and they keep us healthy. The Trump administration has already told our health and food agencies to stop communicating with the public about airborne illnesses, about disease risks, about food and drug recalls. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to die because of this as well. But the administration's complete lack of interest in our lives is so clearly represented by this horrible airline tragedy. This is what happens when you put incompetent people in charge of huge government organizations or mass fire experts who dare to challenge you. People die, and not just people you don't like, you. Do you feel safe getting on a plane right now? Now that you know that Trump has gutted aviation safety, that there is no head of the TSA or the FAA, and air traffic controllers are overworked and understaffed, and we no longer have an aviation safety committee? And even if and when they rehire those people, their first job requirement will not be competence. It will be loyalty. And how does that help you? Are you willing to bet your life on someone who successfully made Donald Trump or Elon Musk feel special enough? Are you willing to bet your family's life? Because this administration is now putting our lives at risk every single day. Now, no life is worth more than another, but that Army helicopter collided with a plane filled with elite young figure skaters, their parents, and their coaches. People who devoted their life to excellence. Children whose biggest dream was probably to represent their country, and their country failed them. Competence is not woke. Logic is not woke. Safety is not woke. Those are essential, apolitical, necessary qualifications for these jobs. Donald Trump needs to get his priorities straight. His leadership created the perfect storm for this horrific accident to happen. And trust me when I say if we don't do something about it now, it's going to happen again and again and again. We are 10 days into this new leadership, and they are showing us they are incapable of safeguarding the American people the way we have become accustomed. Holding them accountable is mandatory to preserving our safety. To be clear, the Democrats issued a safety warning for aviation last week. The Republicans ignored it, allowed these firings to happen while pushing through the Pete Hegseth nomination as the head of the military, knowing full well he wasn't up to the job. I know politics shouldn't matter here, but they do. And this is outrageous. And if we don't do something about it, then we are all in danger.